Hello and welcome to my review of the Sternguard Veteran Squad for Space Marines for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Now this box set will cost you £37.50, but it does comprise of a whopping 171 plastic components, which is by far the most number of components of any of the new Space Marine kits. I think this set alone has more components than probably all of the Space Marine models in the Leviathan set. So that means that you're going to end up with a lot of spare parts. Unless you really like the leg poses, there's not much of a reason for you to buy a second box of these. You can get away with buying one box of these and a box of assault intercessors, normal intercessors, any kind of Primaris really, where you can use those spare parts, where you can make use of those spare parts. So the format of this review is as usual. I'll have a look at each of these models individually, tell you how easy they were to build, any issues. Then we'll look at all of those spare parts. We'll go through some size comparisons, and then I'll talk to you about all of their rules. So first things first, price point. They are £2.50 cheaper than the company heroes. Of course they don't include like a character like an ancient or a captain, which would normally set you back £25 individually, but this set is, in my opinion, the best set of the Space Marine releases, followed by the Terminators. Don't get me wrong, Terminator set is fantastic, but this set is, yeah, hands down the best set. So if you were on the fence about this set and the company heroes, get this set, unless you really like that captain and the ancient in the other set, because you will enjoy this set. It's there's lots of options, posability, different helmets, which we'll also talk about. So first things first, let's have a look at these miniatures then, up close. The standout miniature in this set, I think, is this I say Sternguard Veteran Sergeant Veteran. Is this you know, veteran sergeant, if that makes sense. This one right here is absolutely fantastic. Love them to bits. A bit of a homage to the older Space Marine veteran sergeants. He's got this power sword, which is great. There's lots of detail on him. Although his bolt pistol is a bit, you know, meh, and you can't really swap it out for anything like a plasma pistol or Volkite. His shield is actually detailed, you know, which is, you know, groundbreaking, considering that the captain in the hero set isn't, and neither is the captain with jump pack. He's got this banner, which is, you know, some may like the plain canvas, some may not. I know, you know, there are hobbyists in both camps. I understand why a sculpted banner would be, you know, more beneficial, because it's, you know, not everybody can freehand or get transfers correct, but at the same time it does give you that freedom of kind of making your own banner, putting your own transfers on, you know, having it not look the same as everybody else's Sternguard veteran. The shoulder pauldrons are decent. You know, you've got the right shoulder pauldron for all of them is very similar to each other. There are slight differences. It kind of shares very similar aesthetics to the heroes shoulder pauldrons, with this skull framed in like a four-pointed cross, I guess. The other shoulder pauldron is fine. You can mix and match all of them. This sergeant has a skull on his helmet and has some kind of like tunic thing going on, but although he's a bit basic looking, I think he's one of the best models they've made. Gorgeous mini. Then we've got the rest of the Sternguard. Now, you know, any number of the Sternguard can swap their Sternguard bolt rifles, which are specific to this unit, for combi weapons. And it can be any different combi weapons. Long are the days where, oh, it's a combi melter, so that means you've got a bit of a melter gun with it, so it's good against tanks. Oh, that's a bit of a combi plasma, so that's, you know, you've got the strength 7 and things. Yeah, combi weapons now just have like a standard kind of rule for them. But saying all of that, I've gone for 2 plasmas and 1 melter. Let's have a look at these then. So we'll continue with the Primaris, you know, Mark 10 theme just for a moment, and we'll have a little look at these. So this is one of the Sternguard veterans with the combi weapon. Yeah, he's in an alright pose, just chilling, standing there looking imposing. Okay, well, you also get a Mark 6 helmet, believe it or not. So this is the beaky Sternguard. Unfortunately, you can't use the studded greave for the heavy weapons Sternguard with this one, and then it would be brilliant because you'd have a studded greave, studded shoulder pauldron, and then the Mark 6 helmet. I think this kind of works. He's sort of aiming this combi plasma, yeah, with the top mounted magazine. It looks fantastic. I really like this one. Then we were going to save the best till last, guys. Then we've got this one with the Mark 10, and this is the heavy weapons guy. You can have the pyroblaster like the flamer or the heavy bolter. I like the look of this heavy bolter. I actually prefer it to the company heroes. I just wish that they would have given you an extra drum magazine to kind of signify that he can hot swap them out. He shares some aesthetics to the company hero heavy weapons Space Marine, but that one, the armour is even more catered to like a heavy weapon kind of sustained fire. You know, the flares on the armour joints are just a bit bigger, and the gorget is raised to cover one side, whereas this is, you know, equal around. I've given him the helmet with the optics as well. Looks pretty decent. And then the best till last, I think, is this one. Yes, they have given us a Mark 8 OG Space Marine helmet, bigger in size, you know, to fit the Primaris. I just think that's fantastic that they've got these Primaris sized helmets for Mark 10. I guess this is Mark 10 armour. Yeah, brilliant. Got him with the combi plasma. He's got his tunic on. The helmet is just, yeah, fantastic. I hope this is a sign of things to come. I'd like more of these Space Marines in this armour with that helmet, with those helmets. I hope we get some in the Vanguard set as well. So another great looking Space Marine. All of these 5 are fantastic, and there's so many spare parts and things that you could probably make some decent ones if you even got a second set or a box of intercessors. Just, you only need like 5 intercessors and then you're good to go. Speaking of which, let's have a gander at all these spare parts. Wow, there's a lot. There's a huge amount. I don't know if there's 100. There's less than 100 most likely. But here they are, right here. Look at these. Wow. You can trail in some as well as we go along. My voice is about to give though, because I've been recording videos all day. But here we go. There's the Pyroblaster, whatever it's called. Okay, so that would normally go onto there, and then you're good to go. It's fine. If I got another set, I'll probably equip them with that just for variety. You've got a number of other combi weapons. Again, because all the rules are the same, you can pretty much go for a rule of cool. You get 2 of each version, so 2 with the flamers, 2 melters, and 2 plasmas, so 6 variants. Along with those, you're also packing, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Sternguard bolt rifles, and they each have their own kind of magazine and scope configuration, which you can use for all of them. I think they are all completely different, with different purity seals and different looking sights and things, but yeah, you're getting all of those Sternguard bolt rifles. You get a load of shoulder pauldrons. There's quite a few that look very samey and basic. I've used all the kind of unique special ones with little icons and skulls and nameplates and things. You're getting a load of different greaves, which is fantastic. So that really changes the look of them. Getting a number of spare heads here. Some of them are very, say, basic looking. helmeted heads. So as you can see, we've got 3 normal Primaris heads. They all look to be exactly the same helmets. This one has got some studs on the top there. So there's 3 spare helmeted, and this one would normally go on the side of the armour, grav locked. And then we've also got 7 additional helmetless heads. Everything from ones that are partially covered over the face and nose to completely bare-faced and bare-headed, some with optic sights. Yeah, it's a nice selection of heads, and they're all different, so that's always nice. You know, some have hair, some are bald, whatever. It's great that we get that much variety. So yeah, you can have all 5 of them without helmets. You can have one just with a helmet, you know, like the Mark 8 one. And you also get loads of different arms which correspond to the Sternguard bolt rifles. I think the arms will only go with certain rifles, so the arms I've used with the combi weapons will only go with those combi weapons. You get different options for the sergeant. So although his range weapon can only be that bolt pistol, he does have a different option for the melee weapon, such as a chainsword or a power fist. And yes, this power fist is very nice. It's got this kind of icon here. Nothing stopping you really using the sergeant or really any of those Sternguard as one of your veterans or a couple of your veterans in your company heroes set. You've also got lots of other little extra pieces, like some purity seals with icons on, this little lockbox key combination thing that looks like from, you know, Uncharted. Yeah, and various other sort of bits and bobs to go on the back of like power plants and things. Lots and lots of parts here and pieces that you can use with other intercessor sets. So yeah, this is the best set for the number of spare parts in the release. Okay, time for some size comparisons then. Let's start off with some company heroes. So here's the captain, here is the ancient, and here is one of the veterans. So let's kick off with the captain and sergeant kind of comparison. Very similar. I do prefer the sergeant though. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably something to do with the pose. We've seen this pose many times before, I guess, and I just like the amount of detail on the sergeant. Size-wise, the captain's just a bit bigger because of that big tactical rock and on the 40mm base. That's how you set them apart. So if you see these on the table and you see a unit that you think is a unit of heroes, it's most likely got the 40mm bases. This is the similarity between the 2 heavy weapons. Space Marines Primaris. I mean, it seems like this one is bigger, the hero one is bigger, chunkier. It might be that Gorget, or it might be just a slight change in pose on that small tactical rock that just makes him more imposing. And then of course you've got the ancient as well. You know, this is a thing with this helmet. Why would you not put this helmet on one of the heroes? You could completely do that. You can swap all the helmets around to make some interesting combinations there. Compared to Terminator right here, they're going to look fantastic next to Terminators, and then why not put them near the jump pack intercessors. I just really hope that they will bring out some Vanguard veterans as well, make use of those jump packs, maybe make them a little bit more unique, some iconography and things on them that would really make them pop. And the final comparison I like to make is just with the usual 40k minis. So we've got Sly Marbo, Legacy Space Marine and Primaris. So Legacy Space Marine is, yeah, a fair bit smaller. Sly Marbo, of course. And then a normal intercessor is going to be the same height, of course. So again, these work very well in and amongst normal intercessors. They all match incredibly well. Great aesthetics. So we're slowly getting there, guys. We're slowly building up the Primaris and the Terminators and things like that to be the same level. So you can kind of field an all Primaris army at this point. they look good. Just a little bit of like a bonus comparison. I do have a Sternguard. I think it's a Sternguard. This one says Ventra on it. I don't know why on the nameplate, but I just named it Ventra. With the lightning claws on a very small 25mm base. It says 2003 there. It is metal model. Yeah, we don't get any Sternguard with lightning claws, unfortunately. Maybe they will make one with close combat weapons. That would be cool. We haven't really seen much plastic Primaris with lightning claws, other than I think Shrike had a lightning claw. So yeah, that just gives you an idea. I don't think they're going to stand their own next to these Primaris ones if you kind of mix them about. They do look on a different scale. I think there's even more of a size gap here, again, with these than normal Space Marines, but these are very old now. And that's it for the size comparison, so I hope that's helped. And this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Sternguard Veteran Squad. You'll find them in your brand new 10th edition codex, and they are nestled right at the end of, I guess, a little bit of an elite section. You know, we've got Scouts right at the front, then we've got Blade Guard Veterans, Vanguard, and then the Sternguard. And then we, for some reason, move into the Infernus Squad. So, but yeah, the Sternguard Veteran Squad consists of 5 models and will cost you 100 points. You can get 10 models for 200 points. That is cheaper than a Vanguard Veteran Squad, by the way, which would cost 125 points for 5 or 250 for 10. So it's cheaper than the Vanguard, but then again the Vanguard can move 12 inches. The unit composition is 1 Sternguard Veteran Sergeant and 4 to 9 Sternguard Veterans. Every model is equipped with Sternguard bolt pistol and a Sternguard bolt rifle and close combat weapon. What do you get for all these points then, these 100 points for these 5? Well, their stat line reads they're a movement of 6 inches, toughness of 4, save of 3+, 2 wounds, leadership 6+, and objective control 1. Super, how does that compare to a normal intercessor? Well, Timmy, they're exactly the same, except that intercessors have better objective control. So same save, same wounds. I'm not even sure they perform better with their ballistic skill or weapon skill, which is, yeah, disappointing again. I would have preferred them to have weapon skill 2+ or ballistic skill 2+. That would have been game changer for their man veterans. Let's talk about their war gear options firstly though. The Sternguard Veteran Sergeant's Sternguard bolt rifle can be replaced with one of the following: 1 Astartes chainsword, 1 combi weapon, 1 power weapon, 1 power fist, 1 Astartes chainsword and 1 Sternguard bolt rifle, 1 power weapon and 1 Sternguard bolt rifle, 1 power fist and 1 Sternguard bolt rifle. So I've obviously replaced my bolt rifle with the power weapon. You can give them a fist if that's your thing. Any number of Sternguard veterans can each have their Sternguard bolt rifle replaced with 1 combi weapon, which is what I've done. For every 5 models in this unit, 1 Sternguard veteran Sternguard bolt rifle can be replaced with one of the following: 1 pyre cannon or 1 Sternguard heavy bolter. So what do all these weapons do? Because close combat weapons, they are lacking. You know, normally the Vanguard veteran squads have these Vanguard veteran weapons. They're not really concerned about range, more melee. So these Sternguard are more concerned about range. So I'll start off with the combi weapons then. The combi weapon is an anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds and rapid fire 1. It's a range of 24 inches, 1 attack, ballistic skill 4+, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. Yeah, not the best, especially with that ballistic skill 4+. It should be 3+, I believe. The pyre cannon, which is a heavy weapon choice, it ignores cover and it's torrent. It's a 12-inch range. D6 attacks a D6 +1. Ballistic skill is non-applicable, so it'll automatically hit. It is strength 6 though, AP -1, damage 1. That's all right. The Sternguard bolt pistol has devastating wounds. It's a pistol weapon. Its range is 12 inches. Attacks 1. Ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, and penetration 0, damage 1. And then the Sternguard bolt rifle, which is what you might equip all of yours with. It's an assault weapon, devastating wounds, heavy, rapid fire 1. So range of 24 inches, 2 attacks, 3+ to hit, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. And then the Sternguard heavy bolter also has devastating wounds. It's a heavy, sustained hits 1, range of 36 inches, attacks 3, ballistic skill 4+, strength 5, AP -1 and damage 2, so that's pretty good. Melee weapons, as I say, they're more concerned with the range, especially with those 24-inch Sternguard bolt rifles or combi weapons. But the melee weapons, the Astartes Chainsword works as usual. It's a melee weapon. It's 6 attacks, weapon skill 3 plus, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. Close combat weapon, again 4 attacks, weapon skill 3 plus, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. The power weapon, 5 attacks, weapon skill 3 plus, strength 5, AP -2, damage 1. And then the power fist is 4 attacks, weapon skill 3 plus, strength 8, AP -2, damage 2. So pretty straightforward melee weapons for them. Keywords: infantry, grenades, Imperium, Tacticus, Sternguard, Veteran Squad. Their abilities, they have faction ability, Oath of Moment, and then a specific unit ability called Sternguard Focus. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets your Oath of Moment target, reroll a wound roll of 1. That's pretty nice, and you might need that. And then keywords: infantry, grenades, Imperium, Tacticus, Sternguard, Veteran Squad. So again, you're not going to be able to par these into a Rhino or anything that, you know, can't deal with the Tacticus keyword. It's a bit disappointing. But they're a nice unit. They're a fantastic kit. I can't recommend them enough. Whether they're any good on the battlefield, it is another matter. I mean, I guess you don't need to get them that close, but you know, they do have an effective range of 30 inches there. You do need to get them into some kind of range. Their weapons can cause a fair bit of damage, you know, with anti-infantry and devastating wounds. You know, you get your devastating wounds even with a Sternguard bolt rifle, so that is something. Their objective control is only 1, and they're your standard Space Marine toughness of 4 with 2 wounds each. So where they're going to be vulnerable is in close combat, especially if you don't give your sergeant a power sword or anything. And I think it's quite odd that your sergeant of a veteran squad can't take a like plasma pistol or something, but a sergeant of just a jump pack unit can. I mean, these guys are from the like the first company or something? These are like your veterans, and they have the combi weapons and the Sternguard bolt rifles, but the sergeant can't take like a plasma pistol or a Volkite or just something spicy. I think they used to be able to in the previous rules, so it would have been nice to improve that and just to include it in the box as well. I know I'm asking for even more stuff, even more parts, but that would have been a nice extra, and some extra special rule for them as well, other than the Sternguard Fortress. That's why I think their use is a bit limited. They certainly can back up like an intercessor unit or provide more firepower that a assault intercessor squad is lacking, but it's the delivery method and how you're going to back them up in close combat as well, because that's what they're vulnerable from, long range and in close combat. What do you guys think of the Sternguard Veteran Squad? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.